Let's go. The Florida Gators offense woke up. There was a huge controversy regarding how the Gators were going to rotate their quarterbacks in this game. And, well, Graham Mertz showed out, right? It's amazing what happens when there is a guy really threatening to take all of your snaps, okay? So you get the pre-snap motion. It's man-to-man over here. And guess what? You also get a blitz coming off the edge, which helps out the spacing on this play. 2 is guarding the tight end Boardingham in man-to-man coverage, and you see he gets cut off. This is a very easy Graham Mertz throw right here. He's able to do it fading away. It's with amazing accuracy, and it's a tutty, okay? Look at my guy. Like, oh, my God, what happened? Florida does get the football back. They're driving, and, this was something not only that I picked up, but Yahia Hassan, who I like a lot. He's also a Gator analytic account. There are so many sharp Gator viewers out there. ADOT, okay? There were so many throws from Graham Mertz at or behind the line of scrimmage. It was ridiculous. Well, guess what? It worked. It worked. It's boring offense, sure, but, a lot of modern offenses are the dump it down kind of offense. And 24, you Gator fans, let me know more about him. He had a pretty good day. But, this has been the story of the Gator season, okay? Dumb penalties. You have an explosive gain. So you block him in the back there. He's out of the play, all right? There's no way he's making this tackle. And then you block him again, way out of bounds, right? Just ridiculous. Low football IQ from the Gators, and you guys are just way too familiar with that. All right, so now we get to the touchdown here. At the all-22, the Gators are able to overcome the dumb penalty. And last year, Mississippi State really struggled with these stop and goes and just slot fades. In general, this isn't a slot fade. Obviously, it's a stop and go. But Mississippi State's defense struggled with these types of routes in the red zone. And, man, Graham Mertz throws a beautiful ball. He should be able to. I was a little shocked when the broadcast said 88 before today had not really had any involvement in the Gators offense. Well, it's good involvement right there. All right, let's move to Graham Mertz's third touchdown pass. Obviously, by far his best game of the season, okay? I love when teams get in 12 personnel and get vertical with those tight ends in 12 personnel. Also like that Boardingham is not out here, right? The receiving tight end. So, obviously, all these defenses get, scatter reports. These are 2 of your more blocking tight ends, if you will, okay? And guess what? You get vertical. It's easy to forget about these guys. And basically, you're just running a lot of vertical routes. That's it. And Graham Mertz, if you actually look, he starts off looking to the left, which holds his safety over here. And he actually doesn't really even shade over here. He's just getting a lot of depth. And Mertz just throws this thing, right? Look at this ball location, though. Bang. All right. Yes, he's wide open. But the fact that he threw it on a freaking line allowed this big guy right here to not slow down, and it allowed him to make this guy miss. So the ball location actually really did matter. Man, DJ Lagway, I am so excited to see his development. Obviously, he's the quarterback of the future for the Gators, and I love seeing him take a shot, right? I do feel early in the game in particular, Lagway was a little bit more vertical. But, man, this is a really good ball right here to Six, who's been good for the Gators lately. All right, you get this little jet handoff right here. And, man, this is just good blocking on the outside by the Gators. And, man, 24 Jackson. Once again, you guys tell me more about him, man. He had a lot of juice, man. He breaks that tackle, and he finds his way in for a lovely tutty. Wow. All right, so here we go. Aiden Mizell's deep touchdown that was called back. This is one of my favorite play designs. The Patriots made this very popular. It's called Hoss Juke. All right, so you're running goes from the slots, comebacks from the outside receivers, and a juke route over the middle. Okay, so you start off looking left, and then you work back to the right. Okay, now in theory, you could throw this ball to Montrell Johnson, but you want to get this football right here. Okay, so Graham Mertz thought about throwing it deep. Once again, I don't have the all-22, so it's kind of tough to see if anything was there. And then you see what Mizell can do after the catch, okay? He jukes this guy, and we get the penalty right here, okay? Now, this is one thing I don't like about college football nowadays, okay? Just because a collision is big does not mean it's a penalty. Now, do I hate that 2 got knocked out here? Yes, I absolutely positively do hate that number 2 got knocked out here, all right? But you notice, I don't even think Montrell Johnson thought this was a big hit, because if it was, normally when you get a big block, you just stare the guy down, okay? But he looked at him a little bit and then just kept running, okay? I hated that for 2. Football's a physical, violent game, though, and they threw the flag. It wasn't a blindside. It wasn't anything bad. You've got to let that go. But lost in the bad call, Mizell's juking ability here was freaking ridiculous. You love to see people break arm tackles. You also love to see offensive linemen this far down the field making blocks. That's some good athleticism right there. And I love Mizell running away from the defender at a 45-degree angle. Makes it way tougher to tackle him, and he trips in and falls into the end zone. Good stuff. All right, so we get to this 3rd and 1, and what you see here from Webb is essentially what the national media does for Alabama every season, which is kiss butt. I mean, look at that. There's a guy in the gap that he was trying to run through, and the balance to stay on the feet and Houdini himself through that is ridiculous. So Webb, who played some last year, is now going to probably get more work, and you'll see it here, okay? I don't know if I've ever seen that. I thought for sure he would have fell to the ground right there, but I'm not a 4-star running back, and that is just redunculous. All right, so we get to 4th and goal here. I actually do like the call here to run the option. Ironically, you can go to my NFL channel. I did an Anthony Richardson deep dive on this exact type of play. For me, when I run the QB option, I like my QB to go directly at the defensive end, okay? And I think Shapen does a better job than AR did in the Packers game. But I do like it when my QB is working downfield and then pitches it, okay? That wasn't the worst there from Shapen, but the throw was somewhat inaccurate, the pitch or whatever you want to call it. If he catches this clean, he's probably getting in there, but good pursuit by 7, and Florida gets an absolutely huge turnover in this game. And I am really impressed with DJ Lagway, man. He is going to be a freaking problem, okay? I know this looks simple, but the game is still competitive, right? 2-score lead. You're backed up into your own end zone. You don't force a bad throw here. You still work down the field, throwing on your off foot. Yes, it's kind of an awkward throw, but he hits him, and you move the chains. Really good stuff. And another thing is you're doing a zone read pull with the RB4, right? Behind 24, behind 5, behind Montrell Johnson. That's a lot harder than what people would give it credit for, okay? I do also kind of like this design as well. I'm a 12 personnel diehard. I just am, okay? So you have a tight end running the vertical, and then you have the deep over taking over this portion, and then you have the split zone holding the flat. So this is a really good read by Lagway. Tight end, he sees that the tight end is getting picked up by the corner, so you want to throw this, okay? And look at this ball, right? It came out a little awkward. I don't know if that was deflected or not, but no matter what, you just want to get it there. Perfect. Okay, and I'm not showing quite a few of these plays, but, you know, you've hit him with the jet sweep. You hit him with all these different sweeps. And so I've actually cut out quite a few plays that I've already edited because I want to keep this somewhat brief, right? But all game with Lagway, they had been running zone reads for 5, 6, 7 yards. After a pre-snap motion, once again out of 12 personnel, this time you actually do throw the split zone, okay? So there you go, all right? There's nobody there. You want to just throw this. That's just excellent offense. And I understand competition does matter, but with 2 completely different quarterbacks, let's give Billy Napier a lot of credit for this offensive staff for its play calling. I thought it was really good in this game. So we got to talk about the Florida Gators and the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Obviously, this was more a Florida offensive film study. I don't know what I could really say about this offense, knowing that Mississippi State probably has the worst defense in the SEC. Now, that play was actually pretty good, blowing up, the zone read in the background. That was actually just a ridiculous pull read right there, which led to a fumble, right? Just a lot of calamity here on this play. But the point remains the same. This is an absolutely positively disastrous defense by the Bulldogs. And you can make the same case that the Florida Gators are also a mess as well. Now, we'll have a lot more Florida film studies down the road, but this will be more geared towards Mississippi State because you guys did blow me up on Twitter, okay? There is a play that is the worst defended run I have ever in my life seen covering SEC football, okay? And this falls on Jeff Lebby. I am not going to pile on Coleman Hutzler. I didn't even know his name previous to this because, well, he has no defensive coordinator experience, right? He's been mostly a special teams coordinator. He's also been a co-defensive coordinator for a year at Texas. But you don't hire somebody in the SEC to do this very difficult job with very little experience. That's on Jeff Lebby being a first-time head coach show. So when you have so many first-timers, you get blown out by Toledo, right? You make a Florida offense, which has been abysmal, look like the Mike Marks Rams. I didn't say that smoothly at all. So it's bad. It's really, really, really bad. And Jeff Lebby has learned his lesson. But you're now whole. You're a year in the hole here. You're in the hole. You need to go get a new defensive coordinator, right? This is just unacceptable. I'm not sure if Mississippi State's going to win another game this year. I mean, look at this. This is a sad state of affairs. I mean, Chris Jones didn't play at this program to watch what he has seen. Nathan Pickering, or whoever you want to mention. It's awful. Absolutely awful what we're witnessing right now. I mean, bring Fletcher Cox in to get these guys motivated. Come on. But the guys aren't in position to succeed. Is there a lack of talent in Starksville? Yes. Okay. But guess what? Starksville has always had a lack of talent in comparison to the rest of the SEC. You've got to be better than what they showed versus the Gators. Okay? It is Power Hour SEC. Boom. And tonight, we're doing crawfish pizza. Let's go.